Now, here in Germany, concern is growing over the country's automotive industry. That's one of the key sectors of the German economy. The VW Group, Europe's biggest car maker, has reported a third-quarter loss of more than €1 billion. Volkswagen's numbers come just a day after its rival Mercedes announced also a sharp drop in profits. The VW Group includes its premium brand Porsche. Porsche's profits have plunged by 95% so far this year. Let's talk about this with Lars Halter from our business desk. 95% drop in profits, goodness me. So after Mercedes-Benz, it's VW. Is it fair to say that Germany's car industry is facing a pretty big crisis here?
Yes, Anja, definitely. And that's not even really news because the German car industry has been in trouble for a number of years now. But we're just seeing some of the numbers. And of course, they're shocking. And if you do want to start with Porsche, because you just mentioned that drop here, they're an example of what went wrong because Porsche had a really hard time adapting to e-mobility. They tried, they failed because, of course, some of the sports car drivers, they want their combustion engine cars. And so Porsche is now switching back to investing more in combustion again. So there was not a clear strategy, and that is costing them a lot of money. But that's not really the main point here. The main point, other than Porsche, if you look at Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, all the others, they are mainly in a bad situation right now because they're losing market share on their two most important export markets, and that's the United States and China. In the US, of course, it's because of the tariffs, and in China, it's because the Chinese car makers have been growing and they're just doing better there.
Is it also a factor, though, that Germany simply isn't adapting fast enough to stay competitive? I mean, that must be playing a role here.
Absolutely. They haven't adapted fast enough, and especially when you look at electric mobility, of course, there was never much of a strategy and there was never a clear commitment by the companies or by the government. Some other countries have made a much stronger commitment to e-mobility way early in the process. China, but also some European countries, of course. You can see this to date if you're driving in Germany. Our charging infrastructure is not at the level that you have in some other countries. And without the government being behind a very strict strategy here or policy, there was no pressure on the car companies to adapt. And they always try to just push on, go on with their combustion engine cars, their diesel cars. They made a lot of money with that. They didn't feel the need to invest really in the e-mobility strategy. And once they did, it was kind of late.
So a lacking sense of urgency. The question is, what needs to be done now? I mean, is it sort of strategic mergers and global partnerships, or what do they need to do?
Yes, that is one thing, of course. They are looking at partnerships. I mean, right now, Mercedes-Benz, just that Momenta is the company's name here in China. It's a company specializing in self-driving software. Because, that gets you into another thing. It's not just e-mobility. German cars are right now behind in autonomous driving. They are behind in entertainment, actually. And in China, for example, a huge market, that is something that they just dropped the ball on. They didn't realize that Chinese customers are looking at cars from an entirely different angle than German or American customers are. And now, of course, they are trying to get into that partnership. Volkswagen is cooperating with electric car maker XPeng in China, have been doing that for a while now. So these partnerships might just help them, of course.
Germany has always been known as one of the greatest auto nations. Can it still, boast that label, or is that over?
I guess that's kind of over, to make it really simple. It's an unfortunate answer, but at least the dominance is gone. And Germans are definitely still making good cars, but they have just dropped the ball on these recent developments, and that has allowed other nations and other brands to just not only catch up, but to actually overtake the Germans. And especially competition in China is just not massive in terms of quantity, but they have better cars as well. So if German car makers want to regain their dominance in this sector, they really have some work to do.
VW's Lars Halter. Thank you so much, Lars.
Thank you.